I love when I don't show up for myself. This is my show. Why am I not showing up? Beautiful. Ooh.
Finally, Facebook fixed the thing. No, I don't want to switch yet. But finally it fixed it, so you actually can switch.
Yes, but it switches too often for me now. It's weird.
I'm like, no. I don't want to switch just because you sent me a notification.
Yes, that's what it forces you to do. All right, let's rock and roll, babes.
Yeah. Anyway, what's up? Hey, I'm wearing the same shirt I wore last week.
Twins.
I have more shirts. I promise.
Maybe. Never know.
But welcome to Insert Name here. Brought to you in full Technicolor. In living sound. With the dulcet tones of the lovely, the tired, the sad, the bored, the sick, the infirm, hardworking. Alejandra Tejeda, what's up?
Yes, that's me. Yeah.
Sick and infirm.
I'm sick and infirmed. I'm tired. I'm beaten down. I'm broken.
What doesn't kill you makes you weaker, progressively getting closer to death. And me, the raspy voice. This is how I feel every day now. Yeah, it's how I feel every day now. And this is what politics make me feel like. My name is Malachi Unique.
I was like, dang, I gotta wait so long for it. I'm clicking out in the time it took you to say that.
I'm sorry. This is how politics makes you feel. Anyway, the primaries went really bad if you like your life.
If you wanted things to get, I wouldn't say better. If you wanted things to be okay, maybe, yesterday was a very bad night.
Okay, so first of all, everybody knows. Well, first of all, there was nobody. Mara Healey was running unopposed. Yes. Yeah, that's the word, unopposed.
Although you could have voted for Sonia, she was there.
I did vote for Sonia, but they said, my brother said, "Who am I voting for?" And I said, "Well, you're voting for Sonia, but she's not gonna win." So, just for fun, you know.
I just voted for Mara because I said, why not? Because it doesn't matter either way.
Voted for Sonia because, Sonia, I think you should accept this vote as, a scolding. You should have done better.
I was going to say, as a gift.
You should have done better. This is like a look at this fucking guy vote, Look at this fucking guy. That's a vote.
Yeah, so Mara won. Congratulations. She's going to be our next governor likely.
Yeah, hopefully.
Thank you.
Now it's hopefully.
In case that crazy man, Jeff Deal?
Yeah, he's a nut. He's a nut.
She, hopefully, inshallah, will be the next governor of Massachusetts.
I keep seeing her commercials. I don't like her.
What?
But I can't wait till she wins so I cannot like her when she's governor.
With purpose. With reason.
And then, all right, so the DA's race.
I think the most important part of tonight's show is this part.
So, obviously, it felt pretty obvious to me that Ricardo was going to lose,
I think even before the news story came out.
Yeah, honestly, before the shit, he seemed like he was going to lose. I think without the shit, he might have had a chance.
Yeah.
But after, it was done.
Yeah, there was no... to me, he was never. As soon as I found out who was going to run, the governor.
Y'all already knew how mad I was that Ricardo Arroyo was running. Y'all already knew that I didn't think he should be. I thought that was weird, bro.
So it was, to me, predictable. But what we will say is that someone reported that there were 7,336 blanks.
And that proves to you what it means, what how much the news cycle matters. Like, how people do be paying attention. Like, they swear up and down, oh, nobody cares. Nobody talks about what's on Twitter. Nobody talks about this and that and whatever. Nobody reads the newspaper, But 7,000 people said, I don't like Kevin Hayden, and I don't like somebody who might be a toucher, so.
And if you watched last week's, we did not endorse anybody. Not that we endorse people per se, we just say who we're going to vote for. Last week, with the information that we had, I was not going to vote for anybody. I was not planning to, because why would I vote for somebody that was an alleged toucher or bad person? That's a bad hit, sorry to say. I did vote for Arroyo because with all the information that we had by yesterday, I voted for Arroyo in good faith. I don't think that's the right word, but yeah, sure. In good faith, I said it's better for
anybody in good faith.
I don't know.
my thing is like holistically, with the way that, that situation shook out, he was the less harmed candidate.
Yeah.
By yesterday. Yeah, by yesterday he was the less harmful candidate. And also it's like always Kevin Hayden was not getting nobody. I was never getting my vote for Kevin Hayden. Like, he was never getting my vote. It would have been me. It would have been 7,337 people.
Literally.
If Kevin Hayden was the only option. So, I voted for that. Wait a minute. Is my enemy Steve Tompkins?
Yeah, he won.
Oh, yay.
I just didn't care to talk about him.
No, it's cops and a cop. I just was hoping it's a different cop.
So, the important part is what this means for Suffolk County. One, we're kind of fucked. Because, first of all, anybody appointed by Governor Baker,
he already threw out all the other stuff.
He threw out a bunch of really good research.
You know what's cracking me up, though? Like, all those people who want black men to go to jail are like, yeah, Kevin Hayden. But I'm like, y'all, huh?
Yeah, it don't make sense.
I'm like, but y'all said y'all wanted criminal justice. Y'all be like, Sean Ellis. Oh, like, Oh, the police, the gang database, they always watching me. Black men, oh, But they like, oh, it's a black man, the DA. But I'm like, again, was another black man DA that sent Sean Ellis to jail. It turns out that a lot of the black men DAs are shitty. I wonder why that is.
But what I will say is that...
Also, that's a white man, by the way. Kevin Hayden, that's a white man.
What I will say about this... Damn, what was I going to say? I lost it when you said Kevin Hayden's a white man.
Yes. You
will rue the day for this. Your hand's also distracting me a little bit, sorry. It's just all I see in my peripheral vision is your hand. What I will say, a few things. Kevin Hayden's trash is going to be horrible for our city. Oh, this is what I was going to say. This is also where the media has come in very negatively when it comes to what a DA does, and it has, pushed us further back into, 20 years back, with the way we've reported things about Masson Cass, the way we reported things about Rachel Rollins's time as our DA, is that it's taking a very negative look, and this is across the country, obviously, and we know why white supremacy never stopped its wheel, but the way people look at the reforms that Rachel Rollins did were not seen as positives, but rather negatives, even though they largely benefited people of color.
Benefited and did not cause more crime.
Yeah. So, but people saw it as an increase in crime. Even though, if you look at the statistics about crime, the crime that has increased is not necessarily the violent crime. But whatever, that does not matter to what we know is what a lot of people know is that does not matter to people. They see the headline saying, oh, crime is going up, but they don't look at what the actual data says about what the crime statistics are actually showing, or who is being impacted or why that's happening. They just see it and they go and they run with it, which is why journalism is very important, and why when places like the Boston Globe don't accurately report what's happening and they publish those stupid op-eds and editorials all the time about about very racist articles typically, it fucks us up, because those are the things that people read and base their information off of, and then we have people like Kevin Hayden taking office and getting voted for because they believe he'll instill some type of law and order, which we know will just ultimately harm everybody. So
we have people calling Lydia Edwards a progressive, pretending that Andrea doesn't take charter school money and like she's not a corporatist. Like it's journalistic malpractice. Like all of the mainstream media pretty much. And so that's why the blame is on us tonight.
Yeah.
It's our fault because we didn't make any live shows this year.
We apologize.
That y'all voted for stupid motherfuckers.
We apologize because evidently it's clear that without obvious nonsense.
I thought y'all niggas was watching Java with Jimmy, bro.
I thought
Jimmy wasn't telling y'all?
I thought y'all were staying informed, but it appears as though if Rahsaan Hall and the ACLU is not telling you what a difference a DA makes, and we're not yelling at you, that you guys forget how to vote properly, and you forget what to tell people.
No, I mean, the thing is, you
lose your minds. We're gone for a year, and it's all our hard work is gone.
And it's not even voting properly, because the people who voted were probably not the people who would have ever listened to us, but like, so many people didn't vote, and those are the people we one day wish to call upon. I know it's a primary, y'all, but we have to care about local elections, like we really do, because like this DA, like what a difference a DA, it's dead ass, bro. Like we're really fucked out here. Like y'all, do y'all understand? Like y'all be like, oh, Boston's not like those other cities when you're talking about police brutality. That's because they're scared, bro. They're scared something gonna happen to them if they do that shit. And every time, and now what? More and more, we keep seeing stories more and more. Again, unlike last time. Interesting.
Okay. Yeah, so it's, you can put the blame on us. It's our fault that we were not on to tell you who to vote for.
To yell every week at say the same thing. I thought y'all didn't need that. It's our fault
because we used to give people very useful advice for their campaigns, and they'd take it and run with it the next week. It's our fault. I guess our tweets were enough.
Yeah, I guess I should have gotten on here back in March and said, yo, who the fuck doesn't put their face on their campaign stuff? It's 2022, guys. It's not 2004, bro. Show a picture of your face. I didn't see that. Did I miss it?
No, it's on November.
Okay, I'm about to say
this was a fucked up also a primary after Labor Day. I know that we've had them before, but a primary the day after a holiday is not great. No matter how you cut it, is not great for voter turnout. And we already have horrible voter turnout because...
Then what, today is the first day of school?
Today the first day of school. Oof. It rained all yesterday. It was Labor Day on Monday. It was a lose-lose. And the people that lost were literally... the residents of Suffolk County. We took a major loss. Like, in so many different facets, we lost majorly. And there were, like, representative seats that were also lost. Like, the progressive candidates lost. I'm not going to go towards them. But what we do have is one shining star. Hopefully. People can disappoint. But Rahsaan Hall, who worked on the What a Difference a DA Makes and was the director of something for the ACLU.
Racial some shit.
Yep. He won the primary.
Love you, Rahsaan. He was the director of racial some shit, according to me.
He won the primary for Plymouth County. Yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah, to be honest, I can take credit for that. I will say, Rahsaan, the one candidate that I literally have been doing, recurring donation since when, March? Or February, or whenever he made his impassioned plea.
Malaysia better than me. I donate once and then I go reoccurring. You're not gonna catch me unless I remember that I want to donate to you.
I would say not for everybody, not for nothing. Reoccurring to Rahsaan Hall because I need that.
That is the whole. You know what a difference a DA made was very important.
That made us.
It made us. It was one of the reasons why we started doing our show.
It made us. Listen,
we gotta show our respects.
We got strange pictures from 2018 with people we hate.
Literally.
It's so, it was a time. We're all suffering. I'm glad Rahsaan won his primary. I hope he wins. I'll continue to donate every month.
I hope that he's able to make effective changes within Plymouth County.
And I hope he wins in November. I hope that he stop arresting people. And
one thing we did miss about the DA things is that there are some next steps in theory that can be done when dealing with Kevin Hayden. Maura Healey could, in theory, say, hey, actually get the fuck out.
Investigation.
What's happening here? The same thing with Andrea Campbell, who can also investigate him when she takes office.
Investigation, but they won't.
They won't, but
they should.
We as residents of Suffolk County, we as residents of Massachusetts should be pushing on our governor and our soon-to-be Attorney General to look into how sealed records about sexual...
I feel like people don't take campaign laws very seriously at all.
No,
because they don't get in trouble for that shit. But that's a really serious fucking crime, bro. Not that specific crime, even though that is a serious crime. But just campaign crimes. Those are serious crimes. Like, if you're trying to become a politician who makes decisions about the laws of this country, and you're casually breaking the law during that campaign, people be acting like that's no big deal. Like, whenever people do campaign finance shit, they're like, what are you talking? Like, why are you making a big deal out of me? Like, this person is supposed to be a leader.
It's not a big deal, Malaysia. What does it mean? That doesn't
matter.
This
person. How do we trust this person's integrity?
It doesn't matter.
But I think that's so weird. But yeah, they should that is not how you're supposed to use the office. Like, even if the allegation was true, or was founded, that is not how you're supposed to. You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to go, oh, let me use my office to find dirt on my opponent. Like, you're literally not supposed to do that shit.
No.
So he should not be allowed to continue in his office if he did that.
That is the community next step, and what should be done is that we should honestly be asking Kevin Hayden to resign. Also, you can't self-investigate yourself, so he should be asking an external office to investigate his office to find out who the leak is. If he was a proper attorney, if he was a proper DA, he'd want somebody to investigate how something like that was leaked.
If he didn't do it.
If you did not do it. But whatever.
If you don't know where it came from, then don't you want to know? I want to know.
If you follow the law.
Who's leaking information out of my office?
I personally would like to know.
But, it's whatever for him.
But that is the next step, in case anybody wants to know, something that can be done for DA. But also the usual of, pressing him and saying, hey, do this now. Will you get results? Unlikely.
My man's throughout the whole,
unlikely.
Shits.
Unlikely. He's thrown out a bunch of really good work that Rachel Rollins administration, I don't know, office, what the right word is for that.
Yeah,
I guess. So, it is what it is, but it is going to be a tough situation, and another thing that happens a lot in our politics is that he's going to be in that office for a long time.
Because here's the other thing. He's already under investigation for the transit police thing.
Yeah, for not handling...
That's what we should have put in the background, was that picture of somebody accidentally tweeting from the transit police.
Also, if talking about, sexual misconduct and things like that, Kevin Hayden did not properly deal with, 1,000 or so of, offenders or cases when he was doing his other job. So it's really great that he is going to be the DA. We really think he's going to do a great job at protecting victims of sexual abuse. It's gonna be great, guys. But we'll be here commenting. We follow along with major stories like we did with Rachel Rollins' time in office. We'll be here telling you what is happening, but it's just a lose-lose for the Suffolk County, so it is what it is. We'll move on to, I think we briefly said something about Andrea, but Andrea won. She's going to be the first black woman attorney general. I don't know if we've had a black man. She's going to be the first black woman attorney general, so that's cool, I guess. Although I still don't understand how.
Andrea's a corporatist.
I hope, in good faith, I hope that her funders, those that have contributed to her various races in the past 10 years, do not influence her work as an attorney. As the Attorney General, a very important attorney for the state of Massachusetts. I hope that charter schools that have been encroaching on
that charter school cap about to be.
I have hope that she has integrity, but I don't have trust that she does. So congratulations, Andrea. It's really cool. A black person in office is cool, I guess, as long as you're not fucked up.
Yes, somebody about to be like, but why charter schools? Black people and public schools, I hate.
Google the school to prison pipeline and charter schools, and then come back to me. Thank you. Actually, don't come back to me, because once you Google that, that's all you need to know. Thank you. And Google
charter school attrition.
Google, yes, I was gonna say it's specifically in Boston, because there are a bunch of charter schools in Boston that have specifically had a bunch of misconduct cases where they're mishandling a bunch of black people, basically. So charter schools, and that's why I didn't vote for Andrea. Thank you. I voted for that white lady because it sounds fucked up, but the white lady at least is funding herself. Andrea's funded a bunch of evil people. It matters to me where you get your money. I'd rather a white lady fund herself, where she got her money by suing companies.
I don't understand why we pretend it matters. Why we pretend it doesn't matter where you get your money. Like, if you're getting active donations, you think people bro, they're not giving you $30, bro. If you have a super PAC, you think they're giving you something for nothing? You think You think they're giving them something for nothing? Of course not. Come on.
I'm leaving here with something, is what they said.
I'm from around the way.
I'm leaving here with something. If you don't watch TikTok, that don't make sense. But if you do.
Know what I mean? I'm from around the way.
Because it's hard to... This is why campaign finances are important, and why you should not let people get money from anywhere.
No one should be able to fund their own campaign millions of dollars. That's ridiculous. And then, companies shouldn't be able to fund people's campaigns either.
It should be people only or the government only.
We should have a tiny amount. We should have a tiny tax, tax amount, and then you should be able to get small donations from individuals.
And that is it.
You should have a $5,000 from the government, and whatever else you can get from singular donations.
Citizens United or whatever? Reverse that. Thank you.
Fuck Citizens
I know it'll never happen, but reverse that. Thank you.
Joe Biden loves Citizens United.
You do. All the motherfuckers. All the Democrats do. Okay.
You know who don't? Liz Warren.
That's true. I used to say Liz Miranda, and I said, that's a good segue.
Literally.
Wow. But
we can segue into Liz Miranda.
The hoes won last night, guys. The hoes won. And Liz, I hope you don't take this offensively. Much love, much respect, but the hoes won last night.
Bro, if Liz Miranda takes that Liz Miranda is for the hoes offensively, she's not for the hoes, bro. That'd be so sad.
Our whole campaign for her was she's for the hoes.
And then if you're like, well, I can't believe you would say such a thing about me, I'd be like, wow, you're not for the hoes, bro.
So what I will say about this race is that to me, it did not truly matter who won. I preferred Liz to win because of the connection that I feel like she has to the community, that especially this side of the community. I'm not going to say that Nika does not have the same connection to the black and brown community, but just based off their districts, who they represent, I felt as though Liz represented the needs of the district better.
Liz Miranda is for the children. She
is for the children, and she is for the hoes, and that is why I voted for her, and she won.
I think I was donating to Liz Miranda. That was the recurring donation for a few months, not as long as I know too many people like that now. Not as long as Rasan, though. But they texted me last week to be or whenever, to be can you get our campaign people snacks? Can you send $29 or something? And, I was going to send it. I really was. But I forgot. And I hope they have snacks.
I hope somebody gave them the 20 cents.
Sorry, guys. Y'all won. It's enough. So, eat your success.
So we hope
the success is delicious.
We hope that she had fulfilling. Her campaign what is it, her victory party at Prince Hall. That's how you know
she's for the hoes though. How you go to Prince Hall
or
and you
Reed
not
Hall,
be for
whichever way you'd like to say
William E. Reed Hall.
Whichever way you'd like to say it, that's where she had her
William E. Reed Auditorium, aka Prince Hall.
That's for the hoes. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's where the Adidas party takes place. Thanks.
But I am excited to see her take Sonia Chang's seat.
Me too.
It was a due time, to be quite honest. It is
due time. Sonia was okay, but she also made a lot of enemies very quickly. And then she was no longer able to do anything.
Yeah. Excited to see what Liz is able to do at that capacity. So, cool. And then on to more sad news, because that's all we really have today, because it was a bloodbath, like we said. Tanisha Sullivan, who was not predicted to win necessarily, but who I think brought forth what the Secretary of State does a bit more than before. I think what she has done is expose...
What a difference a Secretary of State means.
Yeah, I think she ran a very bold campaign in the fact that, like, motherfuckers don't be running for Secretary of State. It's not a position people go after because they know William Galvin...
Yeah.
is very entrenched in that position, as he's been there 27 years and will be there for like another 4 years.
Oh, Billy Frank.
So I think her running was a good thing. I don't want to say she wasn't the right person to run, but I don't think she had enough statewide recognition, which is hard to... Having statewide recognition is very hard.
We knew she wasn't going to win on this one.
But she was
it was hopeful because, that is an important position. Like we talked about last week, that's like the red... I forgot. But we talked about it last week. Go ahead, watch that one. We talked about what the Secretary of State does.
Important stuff. A lot of stuff. You can either go on the website.
Yeah, if you go, you see I see that man's face. You know how much I'd rather see Tanisha Sullivan's face on a website instead of William Francis Galvin, Billy Frank.
But, so Tanisha lost. It is what it is. It was expected. There's not much you can say about
gotta talk about the Lieutenant Governor.
Oh, yeah, but I like how we have had this in the back of our screen for the full 26 minutes we've been on and have not talked about it. Okay, so, I don't even know what the original tweet was about, to be quite honest.
The tweet, I know that it was about the fact that there was mad people there for Kimberly Driscoll. And somebody's like, why? It's Lieutenant Governor. And they don't, like, what? You really just hyped for a Lieutenant Governor? And they were. I guess it's because she's a popular mayor or something.
Yeah, she's the mayor of, God damn it, Salem? Something. Damn it, I knew yesterday. And today I don't know. Yeah, Mayor of Salem.
Who did I vote for Lieutenant Governor?
I voted for Tammy, but I did not care, to be quite honest.
I voted for Tammy too.
I did not care.
But I didn't know. But I didn't know Lieutenant Governor. I didn't know, kinda.
I heard mixed, like, the extra progressives were with Tammy, and Tammy, like, came in third, so whatever. But, so, like, some of the extra progressives were with Tammy. One of our pals told me to vote for Kim. So it was a toss-up.
She won.
As this tweet pretty much says, not sure though, in truth, I think I have more power than the Lieutenant Governor. And same, which is why it did not matter.
The Lieutenant Governor, I really think it should be like President. I think they should run together.
It should be a ticket, yes. I know it becomes one in thingy or whatever, but it should just be a...
From jump, I don't need that.
It's a little bit of a show, but it is what it is.
You make it longer. You make everything longer.
But she was Lieutenant Governor, so it is what it is. Let me make sure there are any state auditor. Nobody. This was an interesting one, actually, just to the fact that there was a lot of support for Christopher Dempsey. I know that Michelle Wu supported him, and a lot of progressives supported him. But a lot of, like, I wouldn't call them progressives, moderates towards, like, leaning towards progressive associations, and people also endorsed Diana
DiZoglio.
Yep. And so that was an interesting kind of thing.
Diana DiZoglio.
Mike said, what would they be auditing? The states. They could audit literally anything. So police departments,
like how you spending your money.
Towns. You can audit just what's happening. Anything to do really financially or with just...
Yeah, what's going on?
So it's an important job.
Oh, who won the U.S. House race?
But a lot... I was like, so it's an important job. It's just nobody really... Like, first of all, nobody really runs for those jobs. Just like Register of Deeds, probate.
Yo,
Probate?
by the
Is it
way, probate, yeah. By the way, next time somebody want to run for Register of Deeds again?
Literally.
Because, okay, at this point, Felix Arroyo about... Come on now. He can't run for Register of Deeds again. Oh, yeah. Is he not?
Yeah, I forgot, though. I forget.
He can't be the Register of Deeds again.
That's not the right one.
No, I'm like, that's Felix.
He's a Register of Probate.
Register of Probate, yeah.
Deeds something. Wasn't that a white woman that ran last time? Wow. I don't know if she won. Remember that lady we saw that one time?
But I thought she was running for the other thing. Who is the Register of Deeds now? That's crazy. I used to know these stupid things.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
No, for real, though.
No, I'm trying to find out.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. For real, though. Like, it's not showing you.
Maybe I have to type in who?
Who the Register of Deeds?
Oh.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was that white woman, Katie or something, that was running against him a few years ago, remember?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
But it's been more than 4 years.
I think it was on the last thingy.
Oh.
The last ballot.
Because that one said 2016, so I was confused.
Suffolk elections. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, I swear there was another.
But it had to...
I think it came up last year. Yeah, because 2016, 4 years later.
Mm-hmm.
Last year. I don't know why it's not showing up. Anywho, we got distracted.
Anyway, yeah, Stephen J. Burke's Register of Deeds. But no, like, probate, family court, that doesn't matter too. Yeah, probate, all those dumb jobs that... If it has a weird name, it's probably super important.
Yes, and we just don't know it. And it's very important that people... Okay, so this is something we'll get into with the U.S. House. I was like, what's the U.S. House for a second? I was being quite slow for a moment. I'm not going to hold you.
House you want to talk about?
I was like, what is the House? But the U.S. House and just a lot of other things within our sphere of like local and like federal blah blah blah.
What was Roy Owens running for? Did he win?
Was he running against? I can't remember. I have to go look up the ballot. Was he on the ballot?
I don't know. He might not have been.
It's very important to primary people. I know that we are against primarying people in this state, but it is very important.
Nobody should be running unopposed.
Like the fact that District 1 for the U.S. House, District 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, they're all ran unopposed.
No one should be running unopposed.
Ayanna Pressley, famously in District 7, so our district, ran unopposed. And it's just horrible for democracy that no one runs unopposed and is willing to challenge.
In primaries.
Like, this is when you see, like,
because
what juice your person
has. I don't have
has.
a choice in the general. Like, that's why they don't run primaries, is because that means that like, Democratic voters actually don't have a choice. Like, you have to vote for whoever they put up.
And that is
if there's
bad.
not a primary.
It is bad. You should always be questioning and challenging who is in office and forcing them to do better through an election. You should not give them an alley-oop back into office. That should not be how it ever works.
And in so many offices in Massachusetts, like, the moment you get that office, you'll just be there the rest of your life. Like, again, like, 30 years, this man gonna be Secretary of State. Unless he drop dead tomorrow, he gonna continue to be Secretary of State. Right. I'm sorry, William. Billy Frank.
Oh, no, that was me.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Knock on it for Billy Frank.
Malaysia canceled out my bad luck.
No. I'm sending it back. I thought we was being okay people.
Oh, no, maybe. Yeah, no, not that. I'll be good. But, no. Like, this is what happens when you don't primary people and you don't think of it as an actual, like oftentimes
contest.
You'll hear things where people be like, oh, wait your turn, or don't primary somebody, wait till they retire. No, primary them. Make sure you're constantly keeping
primary them also, but like, then like the Joe Kennedy people gonna come back and be like, well, we tried. But actually have a reason to do it though. Don't just be like, it's my turn. I feel like I'm young and hot, so I should win.
Never forget Joe Kennedy basically saying, yeah, I just deserve to win.
But did you hear?
No
did
reason,
you read
just
my
vibes.
name?
Although, Spurs, that's Mari Haley a little bit.
That's Mari Haley, but she got lucky.
At least she's kind of better. Kind of, whatever.
I mean, she at least has some principles. I think Joe Kennedy can like answer, why are you running? They asked him multiple times, why are you running? He said,
you're bullying me.
He said, my wife. Did you say something about my wife?
In conclusion, what you should do is primary people. Thank you. Because
primary everybody. And then I feel like
I'm gonna run for register of
what do you have to do to be registered of deeds? Do you want to be registered of the family? First of all, I think you have to be a lawyer to be registered of the family court.
Boring.
But
I'll become a lawyer by then.
I don't think you have to be registered of deeds.
I was like, I can go to Suffolk Law right now. They'll accept me for certain.
I mean, selected. Do you have to? Most elected positions don't actually have requirements.
That's fine. I'll literally run for office. Y'all have to support me if I run for a stupid office. It's not stupid. I take that back. It's a very important and crucial office.
I think everybody would support you if you ran for office. I think you should run for... You should run for lieutenant governor. Clearly. No, I'm kidding.
We're fucked up. But no, I could do probative wills and estates.
Exactly.
I'll have Suffolk County in order.
Wills and estates.
I don't quite know if Felix Arroyo doesn't have it in order, but what I'm saying is that I'll do it better.
I think I have actually nothing against Felix Arroyo, the elder. He just old and that annoys me, and he's been in office too long. Not because he's old. No. I like old people here. I just don't think he should be in office anymore.
You become an old person in office too long when you're an old person that has been in office.
If you start when you're old, it's different. Like if you run for office the first time you're 77, that's a whole different ballgame. I'm like, hey, maybe.
Correct.
But I feel like I had a last thing I wanted to say. No, I think all of y'all should just run for office, but the thing is, please don't break campaign finance law.
Don't break. Yeah,
that's all I want y'all. I think all of y'all should run for any of these offices because also, these people just cause them problems. At least be like Domingos, and at least just cause people trouble. This
is the point I wanted to make. Actually, I found a point, in all of these times, in Liz Miranda's race, which was for the 2nd Suffolk.
Just for the hose.
For the hose. Diane Wilkerson got... So I'll read to you the
breakdown.
The breakdown of the number of votes that each candidate received. Liz Miranda received 6,750 votes, 33.2% of the vote. Nika Eduardo received 5,569, which was 27.4%. And Diane Wilkerson received 4,352, receiving 21.4% of the vote.
I didn't even see him.
I've never seen James Grant either. I'll also read Menard.
I still don't know how to say Menard Culpepper. Mr. Culpepper.
He received 3,119 with 15.3, and James Grant with 547 at 2.7% of the vote. What I wanted to say out of reading those numbers was that Diane Wilkerson, even having if you know, you know, received 4,352 votes, which is a great number of votes for, first of all, a primary, but also like a district seat. Like it's a big district, but it's a small district at the same time. Having a reputation that was ruined.
There was so many Diane Wilkerson signs in Mattapan when I was in there last week. Yeah.
I just want to see how much money she put in her campaign.
I'm like, I want to see who gave her money.
That too. I just want to see how much money she had. But my point was that I think there's this perception, especially extra D, that that you need a bunch of money to run for offices in Massachusetts, and you do need money. I'm not gonna lie to you and say you don't. But when it comes to like hyper focused districts, like I would say like 2nd Suffolk, city council, and those things, having people on the ground for you that are willing to just canvass for you is worth 10 times more than any money that you'll ever get.
I think the thing for me is if you can get money, you should try to get it. But if you can't get money, then you can still run. Like, if you have people willing to go for you.
So Diane raised almost 36,000, in case you were wondering.
Yeah, I was donating to... I'm like, is it?
The hell? Ooh, God. That was great. Oh. She might have been for leftovers. Mm-hmm. But Liz had 200 and $227,000 in her account, and Nika had $136,000. So I just wanted to point that out, that with almost $36,000, Diane Wilkerson was able to get.
That's not. Every time I see that picture of Nika, I think about how that's not what she looks like at all.
No. Diane Wilkerson was able to get $3,350. She was able to get that many votes by some of it being name recognition, but also just having people on the ground. Like, she came to my door, she came to Malaysia's door. I don't think there was a place where I did not necessarily see a Diane Wilkerson sign in the district, which is kind of crazy. Like, it's crazy to think that somebody, was she convicted of it?
I'm pretty sure.
That was allegedly stuffing bribery money in her titty, was able to win like 4,000 votes.
I think forgetting the bribery money, like, just Wakanda too. Like, can we talk about, like, people act like that was normal. It wasn't. That's a hot girl though. Diane Wilkerson is a city girl,
juice,
bro.
Though. But
Diane Wilkerson look like a city girl. Sorry to say.
The point is, you should be running for these offices because not only do they matter, but you don't necessarily.
If Roy Owens can get enough signatures to run for office every year,
where's this?
Then you can get enough signatures.
Where's my homegirl Althea? If Althea and Roy Owens can be, what's that word you say all the time? Perennial candidates, so can you. Not saying to do that because you're not likely to win. Although
Althea won.
Did win at the end.
She's won twice. She's been in office twice.
She has been in office
twice in her life.
So what I'm saying is
20 years apart.
I think the lesson you should take away from this special is that run for these offices. And if you think somebody is not suited for the office, run for it. Even if you're insane, I don't care. It's better for democracy. Democracy does not go off of unopposed.
Yeah, it's better for democracy.
Primaries.
Unless your name is Roy Owens, in which case you should get out of my face immediately.
But, and the last thing that we'll talk about is, with this race entirely, there's just like a lack of proper effort via the campaigns. Like, nobody just was not there.
Nobody was harassing me. I know it's still COVID time, but I feel like during COVID, y'all did more, like, door knocking than you did.
No, absolutely.
This year. Like, what do y'all think? You're not supposed to knock doors anymore? You have to knock the doors, man.
I feel like...
And you're supposed to be doing that not just the week of the election. Like, can you campaign? I need people to campaign, especially since we're not doing as many community events, not doing as many, like, forums and stuff. You have to campaign, like... People really think they cannot campaign. Like,
I didn't start getting text messages for like from Arroyo's team, from Kevin Hayden team until a week before the election.
I didn't get any text message from either of them.
Like, and that's a bad thing. To not get any messages, no call. Well, I don't pick up phone calls, but to not really get phone calls, they usually leave messages though. To not get any calls, to not
half
get
the
texts.
time it'll say like who is calling, and if it says, I'll pick it up.
So to not do that was a major red flag as to, I don't know what necessarily happened, and I'd love for somebody from, like, a campaign to maybe do a thread on something, on, like, what might have happened in this race and why it was so substantially different, because the vibes were just not there. It did not feel as though there was an actual effort put into this race, and that's part of also the reason why.
My thing is the DA race is major. The DA race is major, bro. The fact that Rachel Rollins got, like... That's the other thing. Like, we talked about... I think we said that last week, too. Why didn't you have somebody lined up to be your progressive next step, bro? Arroyo was not... Come on,
it was poor pussy management. Because how do you let Rachel Rollins come in? She came through very fierce, like Beyonce. Some would say. I would say. And she was bold, and she was willing to take initiative to make changes to Suffolk County.
Wasn't scared of people. You know what I'm going to miss? I'm going to miss Joe DePina yelling at Rachel Rollins. That's what I miss.
I'm going to miss him doing this, too. What's his name? Now I'm forgetting his name.
Oh.
Wow, how has it been so little time and I'm already forgetting Gross?
Oh,
was it
yes.
Gross? Commissioner Gross.
Oh, man.
I was going to say R.I.P. You're not dead, but, like, R.I.P. to your job.
Yo, Kevin Hayden is gonna be no fun.
No fun. I think They're just not.
Rachel Raylands had them. Rachel Raylands. Rachel
Raylands. She was railing them.
Rachel Rollins had them hot press conferences.
I just, I think there was this belief that, we need somebody that is like the opposite of Rachel, but similar policies, because people didn't necessarily like the way Rachel moved.
But that
was wrong.
But they voted for her. That's a thing. Like, people be like, they didn't like what she did, but on the campaign trail, she sounded right, correct? That's a thing, bro. Like, people actually halfway forget what you did the whole time sometimes. Like, me, I remember. But everybody else, they be like, what do you mean? But they're telling me right now, like, you've been watching this person for the last 13 years. Tell you that they're going to do this thing and they never do it. But you're like, but they said. But I feel like Rachel Rollins, like, everybody liked that she's mad. She is mad, like, unapologetic, honest, brutal. She actually acts like a lawyer. I mean, like, I feel like she sort of got, past the stereotype that, black women have to be nice to win or blah, blah, blah. She's like, yeah.
She was mean, and I loved it.
She was like...
She was rude as hell to all those motherfuckers. With purpose, with reason.
They deserved it. We all loved when Rachel Rollins, they would all try to attack her and all get eaten the fuck up every time. The fact that there were no, like, candidate forums I could watch them argue, that ruined it for me.
Far and few. They were weak.
I wanted to see them in person.
I
wanted to see the black man get up and say, but what about...
I will also say that this is not necessarily the fault of the organizations that do hold these forums, but the past year, hearing about these forums, I would hear about them literally as they were on, because people were reporting on them, which is unusual for me, who likes these forums, and me and Malaysia will go to them. I was going to say we'd force each other, but we just go to them out of our free will, which is a little bit why we're tapped.
It's sad.
Yeah. But it was just, they weren't there, and I don't know what's happening. I don't know how it's affected. It's COVID likely. Everybody has COVID brain and does not have the capacity to actually do what they've been doing for years.
Do y'all think that we can have a revolution then if you're not going to do the campaign forums? Well, I think you could replace the energy we would have put into those into having a revolution. How about that?
It was actually astonishing how much you, as people that covered both races, because if you follow me and Malaysia's Twitters, we've always covered even when we were on here, we were on Twitter tweeting about these issues. We've done both of these, and the differences are like dramatic and drastic, like all of those big words for that. It was so evidently clear that just there was no proper attention paid to this race, and how that ultimately led to him losing.
I mean,
obviously, and
and that goes, then that's always, What is the Washington Post? Democracy dies in darkness or whatever. It's just very ironic for the Washington Post, but it's a good quote.
I'm glad you said that. I was ironic because I was like, the Washington Post said, democracy dies in darkness. The Post.
The Post who lives in darkness.
We'll leave you with this: democracy dies in darkness, and you can put the blame on us for not being on here.
It's our fault.
Our bad. That we weren't here to bully people to doing campaigns properly.
I blame us. I blame Java with Jimmy. Why don't you make people vote, Jimmy? It's your fault. Who else does the show? I think that's about it. Because Bog got what he wanted.
No. You know what I got smoked for? Me and Malaysia leave for a year. There's not one young person that can pick up this shit. We ain't old now, too. Like, old in the terms of being
We're starting not to have the voice of the young people anymore. We don't know what the teenagers are down. We don't know about the kids.
We're 25, 26 next year. We're leaving that 18 to 25 group. We're heading into the 26 to 35 group.
None of y'all want to do this? Because I don't want to do it shit. I want to do other things.
Y'all make me upset because no hate, no shade to Java with Jimmy. He's been able to do a lot of work. Java, was that the show? Java with Jimmy?
Java?
Yeah.
Jimmy?
I'm bad at
Java. I thought he was drinking coffee.
Yeah, Java with Jimmy. Yeah. No hate and no shade because there's an audience and a thing for everybody. But the fact he's one of the only people that actually does this work is very concerning. And the fact that we're like, it's us and him are the only people that really do that really do this work is like, come on, man. If you can't hop on live for 50 minutes Be real.
I just like anybody. Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you guys like if there's other folks who have a different avenue they want to pursue to educate, but somebody has to be doing it too. Like somebody has to be having their voice out here too. Like we not the voice. Well, we are, but we not the voice of like everybody, the people. Like, I mean, like we say what we say. We're the list of the correct people. We say what we say. It's our ideology, but like somebody else can go ahead. It's okay.
There's a need for a multitude of different opinions, although not everybody should have a podcast.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you have a different means of how you want to, like, engage people, like, then I'm not saying you should come here and talk if you can't talk. If you can't talk, please don't talk.
But like, it is funny because it's Evan, George with, what's it called?
Bostopia News.
Bostopia News. It's us.
Bostopia. It's Bostopia.
Bostopia News. And you can watch it on TikTok. It's quite good, but he's a white man, so. Anywho, so it's just very like somebody else. Come on, man. I know there's some young people, and if you want to come on our show, like we have different capabilities. We're able to let us build a dynamic where other people are involved in this conversation because we're getting old. I don't represent the needs of an 18-year-old that's leaving BPS. I don't.
Literally, I don't even. What is going on? I didn't even realize today was school starting. Like
all I saw, there were a bunch of kids, and I said, "Oh wow, school!" The day after Labor Day. That makes sense.
And I feel like people like us don't always be encouraging other people to come in. They be acting like they know the answer forever, and I don't fucking know the answer forever. And I would like somebody else to be able to speak for and to their people, not for in the sense of, you know, like say what you want, but speak for them, like speak in their voice and also speak to them in a way that they understand. Like I think we're very enjoyable people, so we bridge the gaps between a lot of groups, but there's a, you know, we just don't have the understanding of that.
And we also don't have the understanding of why we know why people wouldn't vote. We don't have the understanding of why a young person in Boston wouldn't necessarily, like, ever have wanted to vote, or why they would never have ever wanted to register to vote. We don't have that. And we need that. Because that's why our elections suck. Why these progressives actually don't turn up winning is because a large portion of the voter base does not show up because they're not incentivized. There's no reason they should ever vote. But
yeah. So I think that's we gotta do something, man. Get active on something. I don't know what it'll be, but that's it. Have a good week.